Welcome, this is John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. Welcome to the program. This is all about cold calling simplified, the skills of making cold calls as a commercial real estate broker, an agent, working in sales, leasing or property management. This particular video will help you understand the ways to get your system established and convert more clients and listings over time. As I said, it applies to sales, leasing or property management. The tips in this particular video will help you. And if you want to see the article itself, you can visit the article, which is Do Not Try Another Cold Call Without Reading This. And in particular, I have put a file in here for you to download, and that's the ebook. So you can print this after the program. So let's go back and have a look at this particular topic, and I'll talk you through all the key issues. So, cold calling simplified. What's it all about? Well, the telephone is a powerful prospecting tool in commercial real estate brokerage. And in saying that, certain things should be understood if you are going to make it work for you with good results as part of your business model. Particularly, you'll need to stay on task, you'll need some systems and strategies to help you, and you should make it a daily call momentum. So when you look at those particular elements, staying on task, what does that mean? Well, don't waste time, get it started, put it in your diary. And as part of making the calls, provide valuable information. So staying on task is quite critical to getting momentum in call prospecting as a broker or an agent. So let's look at the second bit here, systems and strategies. So when you make the calls, you should be creating conversations. You should be finding the right people to talk to. Of course, you will be making the calls and tracking your progress. Tracking your progress is part of making the calls. When you know you've got some momentum, particularly in outbound calls, and then soon after that you should get some momentum in creating meetings, all of a sudden it makes sense and you can get somewhere with your call momentum. So let's have a look at the final stage of this particular topic, and it is daily call momentum. How do you do it? Well, you build the habit. The habit is making the calls every day at the same time. Don't let people distract you. Don't find something else to do. It is an everyday event. That is a business day, which is Monday to Friday. And of course, you will need to make it personal because you are the equation. You are the knowledgeable person in commercial real estate to make this work. No one else can make your calls. You know the market, you know the properties, you know the people. So make it personal, put yourself into the equation. Another point here is practice. Now, as with everything, practice improves results. And in call momentum, that's something you should start at the very beginning of your career. Practice your outbound calls. Do it every day. Make sure that you can talk freely, comfortably, and conversationally with the people that you're connecting with. And lastly, on this particular point, time of day. When should you make those calls? Well, it's sort of been proven that you should make it at the beginning of the day before you get distracted with other things. Everything in this equation comes down to you. And so you need to let the telephone become a powerful tool for you in your real estate business. So going a bit further, what is the system success plan? Of course, I've said you need to stay on task and improve your skills as a broker or an agent. You can waste a lot of precious time in making outbound calls if you are not using the right call strategies, if you are not supplying valuable information as part of the call process. You are the professional, so there's a few things there for you to do. Your teleprospecting conversions and results will generally depend largely on the systems and strategies that you use daily in your call momentum. So here is the plan. Let's have a look at that in detail. This is your primary call contact system, a system of success in making cold calls. Now, it is a fact that you will find plenty of new business leads and clients if you use the telephone as a primary source of prospecting. It's time to establish and practice your call contact systems. It's time to consider the proven processes that can create better outcomes in the call prospecting process for you. So here are some of those points, those main ones for you to consider and merge into your business prospecting processes. So let's have a look at them. Number one, do your research the night before. Organization is so important to make calls in a timely way. Get the research done at a quiet time of day and not when your focus should be elsewhere on other things, for example, deals and clients. Know who you are calling, why you're doing it. Research will help you do that. Put some direction in your business calls and connections. So who do you research? Well, all of these people: business owners, business types, investors, property owners, property types. Use the telephone book and particularly the yellow pages. There's lots of businesses in the yellow pages. Use it. It's online. It's free. Control your raw data. Your lists will be growing every day and you will have plenty of raw data to explore and keep under control. In saying that, you can use spreadsheets. You can also use a database program. Now, some calls will be a dead end, so you will require a filtering process to drop off the calls to contacts that have no interest, no future need for commercial real estate help. Keep your data clean and accurate. Improve your clean data. Dump the old stuff that's of no use. A spreadsheet is a good way to keep your raw data organized before and whilst you make your initial calls to your list. When you make your calls, you can then elevate some of those people into your database. So let's look at point number 3. Record and repeat. A good call contact made with a prospect may have a potential property requirement in the future. So think about that. Think about the questions you're asking. What can you say? What can you ask about property interest, property requirements in the future? You can escalate those people in your database at the right time in the future. And of course, you can contact them in an ongoing way from a positive perspective. Now, from that point on, when you enter them into the database, you can connect again with the prospect or client with a focus on establishing requirements and reference back to the previous conversations. That's why a database is so useful. Respect the person you're calling by referring to earlier conversations and connections. Be professional in your outbound calls. Make sure that you show respect and you show the right level of professional skill for the location in sales, leasing, or property management, depending on what the basis of your call will be. So let's go to point number 4. It takes 20 minutes to get started. Too many agents will stop the outbound call process at the slightest opportunity. They will find excuses. They'll find other things to do. It is a proven fact that the calls don't get real momentum until after some 20 minutes of deliberate effort, perhaps even struggle. Some agents struggle through the 20-minute barrier, but beyond that, it generally gets a lot easier. Stay at the calls beyond that time and keep up the process of making the calls for 2 hours, perhaps even 3. That is a proven time-based formula to stick to daily. Put the time in your diary, make the calls, be professional. So let's look at point number 5. Point number 5 is an interesting fact to understand. Stand up when you can. This is perhaps the most important process you can implement in establishing your outbound call processes. It is simply the matter of standing up as you make your calls. Don't sit down, stand up. Not only will it help you remain fit for business, but it helps you greatly with your conversational intelligence and call conversations. It is a known fact that the stand-up call conversation is more engaging, deep, and relaxed. That will directly help you with your professional conversations as you make those calls to new people. So let's look at point number 6. Open with facts and information. Use your local listing information as a basis for opening or expanding a call conversation with the right people. Local business owners and property owners are interested in their local area, their precinct. You will have plenty of listing, price, and lease information that can be shared as you make the calls. Talk about the market. If you're talking to the business leader or the investor, you've got things to talk about. Of course, leasing, listings, precinct changes, prices, rents, and sales. Lots of things to refer to. So let's go to point number 7. Measure progress. Record your efforts and track and measure progress. A big part of call momentum is in knowing what you're doing and how you are progressing. There will be limits as to how many calls you can make in 2 or 3 hours a day, and some conversations will be reasonably long. But your conversions to meetings should be escalating as your conversational strength, your skills improve. That's why you should measure your progress. Calls out, commissions, listings, meetings, and referrals. They all mean something. Let's go to point number 8. The mindset is critical. Ask yourself this question. Why are you making the calls to people that don't know you? Your answer should be clear and precise. If you don't know why you're making the call, then you won't be able to connect with the others in making the calls. When you have a solid perception of why you are making the calls, then your conversations, the opening statements, will take a professional shape. That then is the foundation of a successful cold calling prospecting system. So why are you making the calls? You're calling to see if the person needs help with commercial real estate, industrial or retail. You are offering your professional skills. You are the skilled person. Most people that you talk to won't have the skills of understanding sales, leasing, prices, property management, whatever. They won't understand the critical elements of the market. You do. That's why you're making the calls. You are the professional. Understand that as you make your calls. Sure, the person may not want to talk to you. That's fine. Move on. But if the person does want to talk to you, create a conversation. People need your local help. Your information is valuable to them. It's also valuable to you if you market yourself deeply and directly. Your services are special in the local area, so make sure people know that you're out there. Use yourself as a marketing brand. Brand yourself, market yourself, use the telephone for the process. So let's look at point number 9. 90-day contact cycles are critical. People will forget you and or your business, and their property needs will change. If you don't connect regularly with the people over time, you'll miss the opportunity when they indeed have a commercial real estate challenge. So, on that basis, ensure that you are connecting with every prospect in your database at least once every 90 days and or more frequently. Regular contact on a professional basis creates familiarity with the right people that can need your help in the future. That helps them remember you as the expert that they need when the right time evolves. So what is the contact cycle? Well, everybody should be spoken to every 90 days. That's a fact. Priority people should be spoken to at least once every 60 days. VIP people should be spoken to once every 30 days. And of course, there'll be a trash bin where you will dump people that certainly have no interest in talking to you. And you'll find those people over time. Perhaps as you talk to them every 90 days, you'll recognize that they are trash. You throw them away. So there are plenty of things to do here in this particular program. When you look at the elements and consider the 9 elements that I've mentioned, there are things for you to do. These skills are implemented and refined if you are to make the cold calling process of prospecting a successful part of your real estate business. As mentioned earlier, the telephone can and should be a primary source of new business for you in agency and brokerage activity. Enjoy the new business and the leads that come your way. Get your system underway. So let's look at the summary here, and most particularly let's look at the ebook that you can download from the site. The ebook is Do Not Try Another Cold Call Without Reading This. The ebook is free. You can download it and read it over and over again. It refers to the things that I've mentioned to you today. So the article online most particularly is at this point. Here is the article. Don't try another cold call without reading this. And there is the ebook. Of course, there are some cold calling scripts here as well if you feel that you need some cold calling scripts, and that particular link there will help you understand where you can get those. But when you look at the things that I've spoken about, you can see that the primary call contact process is so important in brokerage, sales, leasing or property management. You have to make the calls. That's the way it is. The industry is quite rewarding to those people who get the calls under control. So let's look in summary and also some other things that evolve from the particular website. In the article itself at the website, I've got another series of links here referring to cold call business. And this is the business model for making cold calls in commercial real estate brokerage. In this particular article, from the link at the head article, you can understand what you need to say and how you need to do it. So that is the cold calling business model for brokers and agents. As well as that, I have some telephone tactics for you to adopt, and that's another article from the main article link. Telephone tactics for salespeople, cold calling strategies. and you can look at that particular article and understand the tactics that you need to bring into your system. So let's go back to the beginning here and say that cold calling needs to be simplified. I've mentioned a number of things here for you to help you get your business under control. Do not try another cold call without reading this article. The article is available for you as well as the ebook. So this is John Hyman. I'm signing off for now. Please visit the website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com. And of course, get the ebook download. It's free. This is John Hyman signing off for now. I'll catch you again very soon online.